Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, everybody, thank you for coming. Can I have a roll call?
Supervisor Alberico.
Here.
Trustee Boyce. Here. Trustee Delaney. Here. Trustee Morelli.
Here.
Trustee Dickus.
Here.
Collector Karen Johnson is here, and Assessor Debbie Mason, and John Shalinski.
Here.
And we have our Auditor Dave Meyer present.
Yes.
All right, any citizens wishing to address the board here tonight? Hearing none? Okay, we'll move on. The budget, this budget meeting is for next year's budget. This is our annual meeting. What we do, we have Dave from our accounting firm here, and we'll go through every line item for the budget, and I'll tell you what it's about and what it's for, and hopefully we'll get through it in relatively good timing. The first one we're going to do is for the trustees, and basically that's on the town. The first, the town one is the second page. We're going to start there. Because the first page is the assessors, the clerks, and the supervisors, and we'll do those individually later. All right, seeing that, we'll start out with the town budget. As you can see, supervisor, clerk, assessor, highway commissioner, road and bridge treasurer, and trustees and collector are the first half a dozen lines there. And those are what we budget. That is done by ordinance before the election. Was it 90 days before the election was set? Last, what would it be, 17? Actually in 16 we set it. October 16, so that, we have to budget those numbers. We accepted that as that was our ordinance. The next one is payroll clerk. That is empty. We will discuss raises for all employees in an executive session, and that'll be filled out after what we decide as trustees. Next is health insurance. That's the health insurance for all of our employees and trustees and any officials that have it.
So they see that number has remained the same?
That has to stay the same.
So you don't anticipate health insurance going up? Or?
We talked about that. We're hoping, well, usually we do raise that every year. It did stay relatively level last year.
You expended 178, so
yeah.
which is what is left, about less than 2,000.
Yeah,
22,000.
22,000.
So 10%.
Well, we went through that and we kind of raised, we didn't raise it. So I think Sherry feels comfortable. She talked to the insurance company and felt that was okay. Accounting, that's for the accountants that do our books and everything every year. And that stayed the same. Engineering, I budgeted $5,000. We didn't spend any last year. We had no major projects, but this year I want to keep $5,000 in there in case we do any major projects. There's a couple of things that we could possibly do with this building that might need some engineering. Legal, I went up $5,000 because we've been having a lot of legal questions and going back and forth, and we got to pay our lawyers. We went over a little bit last year. The next line item, I brought it up. think we brought that up $5,000. That was the line item you had asked me about at the last meeting where we transferred the money. We changed the name of it. You'll notice it says QB Consultant. That was the grant application. Remember the grant application transfer that we did last month? You were asking me what that was for.
Oh, okay.
That was for, what they were doing in there was taking out our QuickBooks. Whenever we have a problem with QuickBooks, we have somebody come in and redo it and figure it out. And there's a lot of issues with the state monthly reports and all that. We had a lot of problems with it 3 years ago, and we're still clearing that up. So that was what that came out.
So that's what the QB is for, QuickBooks.
QuickBooks Consult, yeah. I figured, if that's what we're taking it out for, let's make the name the right name.
So our books aren't right, so we gotta pay that money to.
No, the books are right. Our books have been right, but I know when we brought a new employee came in, she had issues trying to stay up with the QuickBooks with the state and everything.
So they're getting updated,
So our accountant,
they're like updated programs?
yeah, update programs. And
Okay.
our accountant firm has somebody that comes in, and Teresa comes in and helps her get that all set up. So that's what that line item is for. I'm anticipating, hopefully, that we won't may have to take it out this year. It's there in case we have more problems. Data communications, I think, went up $2,000. That's our phones, we went over last year. Workshop seminars, looks like we brought that down a little bit. Utilities, we brought it down here on town fund. It was at 15, I believe, and we went over. We're bringing it down to 10. But what we did last year, we have utilities both in senior and in town, because this building is for seniors and town. We didn't touch the utilities as much in the senior. As our bookkeeper's job is to do it half and half. Well, she didn't do it. She took it all out of utilities last year. So now we're going to have them both at $10,000, so we won't go over. Pace Bus is our what we pay to Pace Bus. It's our dial-a-ride service. It's for our handicapped youth. Lockport TV, 500. We do Crest Hill, 500. That's been there forever.
So how come we don't pay Crest Hill or
You know
anything
what?
for cable?
We do Crest Hill.
Well, is Lockport TV still in business?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
LCTV.
Yeah, they're the ones that tape it
Okay.
every month. What I've been telling them, they forget to do it. I tell them, you have to send me a request
Crest
letter.
Hill?
No, Lockport.
Oh,
Lockport didn't get paid last year. They were sending me in a request letter,
well, Lockport has a zero,
expended
Next.
last year,
Expended.
okay.
because they didn't ask for it.
Oh,
I will give it to them if they ask me. They didn't ask last year, so I didn't send it. Crest Hill did. I already have theirs for next year. State of the City, that's the state for Romeoville and Crest Hill and Lockport. Crest Hill doesn't have one anymore. They used to.
didn't I?
Yeah.
I just have a quick question back to the cable TV for
Sure.
Crest Hill. Does Crest Hill, nobody, I mean, obviously we see Lockport television is here.
Mhm.
Crest Hill doesn't come.
No, what we do is Lockport takes it.
Okay,
They make me CDs, and we bring them over to Lockport and Crest Hill and Romeoville. So
okay.
they show it on their TVs too.
So, but Romeo doesn't ask for
Romeville's never asked for a stipend.
Okay.
Hey, State of the City, okay, mosquito control. We have, Clark Mosquito does our mosquito abatement every year. That's been at $40,000 since I've been supervisor. And so I stayed under that. Township cleanup, that's, I got that at the same, that used to be about $15,000 or $20,000. We brought that down a 2 years ago. We used to do a spring cleanup in all unincorporated areas. It turned out to be kind of a waste of money because by the time you don't pick up electronics, you don't pick up any liquids, you don't pick up any construction materials, all they had left to pick up was water heaters and furniture, and most of the people would pick them up before the garbage companies came through. So it turned out we were spending $10,000 or $11,000, and they pick up 5 tons of trash.
So what did you spend that on then?
We were doing it, the $589, we transferred, we're doing a battery recycling here, and we took it out of there. EMA, that's for our tornado sirens, yearly maintenance for those. We have miscellaneous of $3,000, contingency of $20,000. Full-time,
What was miscellaneous and contingency? Or what was miscellaneous spent?
I couldn't tell you right offhand everything that I take out of miscellaneous. It's all odd things that come up, some needs for the buildings or whatever we have to take care of. Contingency is at the end of the year, so any line item that would go over.
Did you
take
take
it out.
transfers out of there?
Yeah, we take all our transfers out of contingency.
Oh, miscellaneous.
No, out of contingency.
Yeah, Sherry could run you a detail
Yeah,
from the ledger if you want to see what got paid out of miscellaneous.
Yeah, she can easily pull that up.
Well, this year, we didn't spend anything on it.
Yeah, you never spend anything out of contingency. That's always that's a budgetary line item. That's like a reserve that you can, if you need money elsewhere, you can,
Okay.
if something comes up that you have to spend money and go over the anticipated budget, you can move it out of contingency into the other line items. So contingency will never have any true expenditures out of it.
Building maintenance, full-time, that's a full-time maintenance guy. Again, that comes out of both town and senior. You'll see a line item in there for that. It's, he does for both. The next one, building maintenance, part-time. I have a 2 on there, and I brought that up to $12,000. What I would like to do this year is bring on another part-time guy. You'll notice that most of our stuff that's happening in this building is happening at night. And so I'd like to get 2 maintenance guys. One will work 3 days a week, the other guy will work 2 nights a week, and then the next week, the other guy will work 3 nights a week. So 2 nights, so they'll swap back and
So
forth.
what happens if
So
there's
the-
no events here?
Well, there's a lot of cleaning and vacuuming, but there seems to be something here just about every night of the week. So I'd like to have a maintenance here to clean up and make sure the lights are out and the building's locked up, secured.
And how many additional hours for this part-time person?
What I'd like him to do is work 6 hours. Like I said, 1 week, one guy will work 2 nights, 6, so he'll get 12 hours for that week. The following week, he'll get 18. And he'll work 3 nights. And they'll just swap back and forth. One guy will work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the other guy will work Tuesday, Thursday. The following week, the other guy will work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. So there'll be one guy here every night.
And let me ask you this question, I don't know if this is the time to suggest it, or I don't know how anybody else would feel about this. It seems like all these groups that are coming in here now are starting to cost the township money. Is there any way we could start asking for contributions, donations, to try and take care of some of this?
Well, I guess we could if we really wanted to, but is that right, Dave? We could probably do that, but.
Sure.
But I always had the attitude this facility was bought and paid for with tax dollars, and it was for the idea of, for the people to use this home.
No, I mean, that's fine, let them continue to use
Yeah.
it, but again, now we're starting to, I mean, if you're feeling that you're to the point where you need to hire a part-time
Yeah.
person just to clean up after them,
Not clean up after them, vacuum up, well, it'd be after them too, somewhat, but it's basically taking care of the whole building too. And the maintenance guy during the day will take care of, getting the electricians here when the lights go out. We had a light go out the other day. One of our emergency lights went on for no reason. So, give them that kind of maintenance.
So right now, they give us $50 just as a deposit
As a
for
deposit.
anything that will
Yeah,
not
may
go
not
wrong.
go wrong, yeah.
Go wrong.
And I usually end up giving that back, but lately I've been saying, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna give it back, because
But is it stipulated in the contract?
it's in the little one that we give you.
So we have to change that contract then, if you want to, if you're gonna keep it, correct?
Well, I think I'd have to look at the contract again, what the wording exactly says, but it is under our discretion whether we keep it or not.
I mean, that's just my opinion, I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels about it, it's just that when you start, you know, like it says, having to hire somebody for evenings now, so just a thought.
Well, I know, you know, at Central Square, they had a lot of events in the eve, not as many as we are, but we always had a maintenance guy in the evening, too. He worked 5 nights, though. I think it was just, actually, they had 2 at night. Sonny and then Sonny's son Dave worked in the evenings to make sure that he always had a helper. Sonny, yeah, Sonny was during the day.
The part-time and full-time, they don't care to come back in the evenings and get extra hours.
You know, they'd have to come back every night. You know, when the youth group here, they're practicing here every night. Every night there's something going on here, seems
I
like.
guess maybe the simple way to do it is like, you know, Denise just mentioned, if we could just change the contract that you just don't give back the deposit anymore.
Or call it a cleaning fee.
We could do that, but we
Something,
still
maintenance
have to
fee.
have somebody here.
Sure, no, I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't have a problem charging them, but I think we have to budget whether we use it all or not.
Right, right.
We'll budget for
Right,
2.
well, as I said, I wasn't sure if this
Yeah.
was the right time to bring it up,
That's
but,
probably is.
okay,
That's what this is for, to talk about the budget and how
okay.
we're gonna do it. That's, maybe we'll do it that way, then I'll budget for the 2, but doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna use all that money. I'll try to get most of the money out of
Right.
the groups and stay. Anyway, okay, that's the part-time maintenance. Elevator maintenance at 15, alarm maintenance at 3, yard maintenance at 3, custodial supplies at 5, capital improvement, 100,000, and projects at 150. That takes care of the town building. Under that is the community programs that we've been doing. Guardian Angels at 500, Community Service Councils 500, Historical Societies 500, Child Advocacy is 1,000, Habitat for Humanities at 6,400. Stop me if there's any questions. I'll just keep on going through these.
Why is Habitat at 6,400?
Habitat, that's always been about 6,400. We don't touch it usually. What that money is for is if Habitat does a house in the Fairmont area, we pay for the tap-on fees. We take it out of
What
that.
are usually the tap-on fees?
You know, we haven't had a Habitat house in the last 4 or 5 years. I think, what's our water, I think tap-on fee is, I couldn't tell you off the top of my
We
head.
just had it last meeting too.
Yeah.
At the last meeting.
I thought it was
$700, yeah.
All right.
So, I guess Ron, the ones that have zeros, we have them as line items, but they're not,
Again, they're not requesting, so I haven't given it to them.
so why in the past,
I think they used to, you know, what happens is like the Guardian Angel Home, I'm
I mean, these
surprised,
are really important programs. and-
but they have a change in their people running it. And they, you know, that new person comes on and doesn't know to send
Would
us a
you feel
request.
comfortable reaching out to them?
I could, I don't know if I'm, you know, I kind of get that attitude, I'm not gonna beg people to take our money.
No, but if, I guess if they're changing hands
Yeah.
and,
I could reach out if that's the board's feeling.
Well, child advocacy, isn't that CASA?
No.
No,
Oh, that's something different,
State's
okay.
determined.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
CASA's down farther, you'll see it when we
Oh,
get
all
there.
right.
Okay, Joyful again,
I think, I don't know, I think maybe set up a budget for donations to charity, and if people were coming to us with donations, but I don't know who vets them, who vets the charities.
yeah, most of these charities have been on our list before I was trustee, I haven't really put
understand,
any
but,
more on, you know, but
You're saying have like just a lump sum for programs, period.
And you could have, that programs would have a budget within itself, the things that, you know, we expended money on the year before, but instead of putting a line item for something we haven't contributed to in the past few years.
Well, my thought would be, I don't, you know, like I said, when I do the budget, I always try to keep things pretty much the same as we go through it each year, but if you really wanted to, we could probably go back through the, our computer and start, if they haven't asked for 3 years. Probably. We're not spending it anyway,
Right.
really, that's basically what it comes down to.
Is there any kind of rule about disclosing this to the public in the budget?
Well, the budget will be on display for 30 days,
30 days of.
Then it's online.
and it's online.
But I mean, if we change it and don't list the people or the programs.
No,
that we-
the statute, I did look that up for, for townships donating to 501c3s, and I believe that the township has the authority to donate money to any 501c3, admit that it has to be either a government-run or a charitable organization. I think I might even have it come up here on my iPad if you want to take a look. I was looking at this afternoon.
TOI this year, I was under the impression, basically, what we're doing is, we're supplementing, I don't want to call it a donation, because we don't donate money. We supplement charity, a non-profit, to do something that we're not doing. And we're not doing
Yeah, so these are all nonprofits that service township
township, yeah.
residents.
They provide service for, yes, that's what this.
Yeah,
So let me read
provide
this-
So it's
service.
more about-
Let me read this real quick, it's just a paragraph.
Yeah.
It says the township board may either expend funds directly or may enter into a cooperative agreement or contract with any other government entity, not-for-profit corporation, nonprofit community service association, or any not-for-profit business entity as provided in subsection B with respect to the expenditure of township funds or funds made available to the township under the federal, state, or local fiscal assistance act of 72. So, and township may expend funds directly to provide any of the following services to the residents of the township. And that's, you would have to go to the statute to get the list of the services that can't, but it's for things that benefit the community.
Community services that we don't personally provide, that they
Right.
do for us.
Because I was wondering why we give so much money to the park district, since the park district has a huge budget already.
Well,
But,
that's a good question, and that's under our senior. That'll be under the senior budget, but
They have a lot of senior programs.
they have a lot of senior programs, and, you know, that's the ones we donate to, help. I don't want to call it donation, because of their contribution to help supplement the programs that we're not doing ourselves, like bingo. And now that we have a building, do we want to start doing our own bingo and do our own clubs, and then duplicating what the park district's doing too? So we
Well,
got that.
yeah, I think that they're doing a good job, and that the numbers that we're giving them, we're getting off easy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel it's better this way. Anyway, okay, back onto this, where did I go? Habitat for Humanity, Joyful Again, 2,500, Circle of Love is 500, Hospice is 2,000, miscellaneous community projects is 1,500. That's the ones that come during the year and send us a request for something that's not like, usually, I know the one that comes to my head real quick is Lockport High School. Will do that night out for the kids.
Right.
Yes,
Late night.
yes, late night. And they always ask us for a contribution. We don't have that as a line item, so we take that as miscellaneous if it's approved by the meeting. Our scholarship program, $4,000. United Way is 500. Crisis Line is 500. Wilco is 2,500. Care Track is $1,000. Care Track, just for your knowledge is the one through the police departments. It's in through Crest Hill and through Lockport. Nothing comes out of that unless there's a resident that needs it. What we do, it's one of those ankle bracelets or a wrist bracelet for a person with dementia that gets lost, and the police department have the equipment to follow them. We'll pay for the wristlet bracelet for them.
And what program? Care
Care
Track?
Track.
Care Track.
Luckily, God bless, everything that they have been needing a lot of it. Bridge to a New Day, Fairmont Food Pantries at $3,500, Lockport Food Pantries at $19,200. The youth music program, as I brought that up, $2,000 this year. It kind of fell off to the wayside last year during the move. We didn't do it too much. We did do it, we started it up again at the Taft School. We have 45 kids in that class right now.
I have a question about now that since the Lockport Food Pantry, or Fish Pantry is in our building, do we still want to continue to give them $19,200 since basically they're getting free rent?
I understand that, and I think we did talk about this last year. They were at free rent at the other place. So if and they were just making it by with our 19.2, we haven't raised that at all. If we bring them here and start dropping it, they're gonna really lose it. Be shorter than what they were at the old place, I think. And I think it's a wonderful program.
No,
So
it's
I
a
don't
good
wanna-
program. Have
Yeah.
they increased any, like, electric bills here?
Well, that's something we're gonna have to talk about here pretty quickly. First year, we gave them the contract. I gotta look at the contract when that was filled out, but we said we'd let them be in here for a year and we'd renegotiate the contract about the electricity if it goes really sky high. And it has gone up. Utilities, like I said, has gone up, so
They pay for the garbage,
they do
correct?
pay for their own garbage, yeah. Our garbage too.
Yes.
Yeah, garbage, yeah. But I think when that year contract comes up, I'll have to look at the date, we have to renegotiate maybe the electricity, unless we do one of our major projects and get solar panels on the roof, and we get free electricity.
Okay.
Is there any other expenses that they have incurred other than utilities? I mean, what if they have a plumbing problem, or is that on them, or is that on us?
Well, I don't know, it's a brand new bathroom. Of course, I ended up plunging the bathroom the other day. I'm the maintenance man. You'd be surprised some of the things I have to do in this building. Right now, it's been working. There's no really more expenses. They did incur, little issues. Well, I'll say it at the next meeting, but the smell that was so bad ended up being a sausage that rolled underneath one of the freezers and never got
Okay. That was a simple fix, though.
Yeah, well, simple as you know it, but we had to get people out here to find it first. I would agree to keep it the same right now for this year, and then renegotiate their electric contract. The youth program, CASA, was $2,000. We brought that up a couple of years ago to. Going on to the next page, all these line items aren't filled out yet because unemployment, FICA, Medicare, IMRF, liability insurance, will have to be figured out after we decide what our raises are going to be, if we still have enough money in this to cover it this year, if it's going to go up. So that pretty much takes care of town. Going on to senior. Again, we have the salaries of our employees, which are empty because we haven't made that decision yet. This next one, how come I didn't? Let me look at something here really quick. Oh, okay, I see. First one's a new line item, the third one down. I want to bring on, I thought I should have brought that up in town, but it's not on town in there yet. I'm going to bring on, I would like to bring on, if it's all right with you guys, a new full-time employee in my office area. We're getting real busy with all the programs going on here. I'm going to call her in the senior fund, a media senior advisor to help program all the programming with the seniors here. I'd like to take $7,500 out of here for that. I also have $7,500 out of my line item when we get the supervisor, and I got $5,000 out of general assistance. So it'll be a new employee that'll do pretty much cover a lot of different areas. And just between, I'm not trying to hide anything, but we do have an employee here that, our bookkeeper, who's been here since '72. She's has a lot of health issues. I don't know if she's when she'll quit or when she's gonna stay, but I wanna get somebody trained in that position.
And that's what this person?
And that's what this is really gonna be for. I gotta be prepared. She's, like I said, she's been here since, God, 72. She's been here 47 years. She knows everything there is to know about township government, and she does all the bookkeeping, and I need to get somebody.
She'll be training her?
So
Yes.
why would you put her under the senior advisory and not under
Well,
part-time, under?
I kind of want to split, because I also want this girl to know, other facets until it comes to that point in a couple of years, where she takes over the whole bookkeeping, then I'll change the budget that year. So take it all out of bookkeeping, out of my line item. But right now, she's going to be doing other things when she's training, and I can't, it's a touchy situation. Nobody wants to train a person to do their job and get pushed out. Now, I'm trying to let her know that I'm not pushing her out. That she's got a job here as long as she wants. But, people get about, their job. So I'm bringing her on. I want her to learn GA. I want her to learn the bus, how to, and payroll, and then
Cross-training.
cross-train everything. And then when the day comes, we can move her over.
Are you gonna make up like a job description so that person understands that they're gonna be doing,
Yes,
responsible
I have
for all
job
that?
descriptions for everybody so far, and I'll
Okay.
draw her up one too. So that's the $7,500 out of the senior fund. The next one's the drivers for the bus. I left empty. We'll decide that later.
How many drivers does that,
4 drivers.
for 4? Okay.
2 are part-time, 2 are, they're all part-time, but 2 are over the $1,000 mark, so I have to move the hour more off the other 2 hours. Health insurance went up here. Health insurance is going up. Rental, I left it at $2,000.
I don't know people that work that many hours a week get insurance.
So Ron, I'm sorry. The insurance, here you get it at, I think, 200,000, you didn't know if it was gonna go up, but you put this one up,
I did
so.
bring this one, well, this is for the senior, the people that are working on the senior end, which are Michelle and Jackie. And I think that's gonna go up there because of the age of the employees.
So back to the 4-time drivers, like trustee Bickus was just bringing up, so when you say 1,000 hours for the 2 drivers who because they have to be put into the IMRF,
Right,
so it's 1,000 hours for annually?
yeah, they work over 1,000 hours.
Okay.
They work 3 days a week. Do the math, it comes out to be just over 1,000 hours, so. The other two just work 2 days a week, so they're under 1,000 hours. All right, health insurance, 40,000, rental, 2,000, accounting, 3,000, it's gone up $1,000. Legal, I kept at 5,000. Data communications is their part of the phone system. Utilities was 8, I brought it up to 10. As you can see, we expended nothing out of this one, but we went way over in town. So this year we're gonna do a little bit better at splitting it between town and senior. Office supplies is 2,000. Miscellaneous, 1,500. Contingency, I dropped 10,000 to 30,000. Equipment purchase is 10,000. I wanted to create a new line item to buy the equipment that we need for the whatever comes up in the seniors. And that's the end of the administration and senior programs. Romeoville seniors, 4,000. Golden Agers, 4,000. Young Timers, 4,000. Silver and Gold Club, 4,000. ARP, 4,000. I brought that up to 4,000 since they're going to be working in this building and that now. They're moving over from the Park District.
Into our building?
Well, not moving in, but they're going to be doing a lot of the programming at this building instead of their building. Men's Seniors Club, 2,000. Cost Cutting Crew is 1,000. Senior Transit Bus, that's their part of the Pace Bus. Meals on Wheels.
So you kept that the same, and where does that Meals on Wheels stand now?
We're going to start talking to them again. And about the third time I've had a conversation with them, they keep on saying they're going to move in here, and then I don't hear from them.
But the program in Lockport is completely non-existent.
It is?
I don't know.
Oh, no, no, it is. No, it's still, they're still at the church. Over where the Meals on Wheels were.
And how come we haven't given them any money?
They,
That's why-
the service, the seniors, the Meals on Wheels program was served out of, senior services out of Center Street, there. They had a shake-up about 2 years ago, and they brought it to Kankakee. And we still pay for our emergency, but they didn't ask for, you know, I wasn't gonna send it to senior services in Joliet because they're not doing it. In Kankakee, they didn't ask for it. We need to straighten that out, so I left it in there. If they're gonna be moving in here, I left it in here because we're gonna be doing the Meals on Wheels. If it doesn't, we don't expend it, we won't expend it. But they are talking about moving into this building again.
And where would they be, I mean, is there room for them at this
They'll
point?
be out of the kitchen. We'll bring the kitchen up to code, and they'll be serving the meals out of there, and we'll put them in cars and deliver them to everybody. Yeah.
I'm just surprised they didn't get the money. I mean.
Yeah, well, it's basically, the administration end of it changed, and now it's being taken out of Kankakee, and I don't know why they didn't request it, but I think senior services in Joliet, I think we did request it, but we said, you're not doing it.
But it's not serving the residents of Lockport Township either, the one in Kankakee or Joliet?
Yes, they are.
In Kankakee?
Yeah, they're just
Really?
running the administration, and
Oh, okay.
they're still, yeah, they're doing the Meals on Wheels.
Oh,
and-
all right.
Yeah.
But we're not giving them any
Any
funds for
funds for it.
Lockport
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels.
And we need to do that. The emergency meals, we sent it for that, the 2,000.
Well, we said 2,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, 10,000 for the senior. The case management they asked for. They didn't ask for the 8,000 services, so we didn't send it to them this year. I kept it the same, just, so I'm not sure how that's gonna play out this year, because things are gonna change with the Meals on Wheels. I think what's really happening there is they're waiting, that's all federally funded, and the Trump administration is threatening to cut all those kind of programs, so they don't know what they're gonna do. They don't wanna make any big decisions and find out they're unfunded. So I think that's what the holdup is here now.
Fair track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Your emergency meals.
Oh.
for senior
emergency
services.
meals, yeah. That's 10,000. That's, we don't have any of our seniors that needs Meals on Wheels. They usually go on a waiting list. We don't allow that in Lockport Township. We pay for them to get it right now. That's what that emergency Meals on Wheels is for. Care Track, Rapid Recovery, 15. Our senior breakfast entertainment, our senior vouchers, Christmas vouchers, 3,000. Our quarterly lunch service, that's through Meals on Wheels also. We did $1,500 line item on that. They're not doing that right now, so that's not being expended. I think if they do move in here, they'll be doing that again, probably here in our building. Shingle shots. I put that up to 35. That's up to you guys. It was 30. That seems to be such a popular program. We already have 80 people on the list.
But did you use it all last time? The 30?
Pretty much, pretty close. We didn't, it's hard to go to the exact number because what it is a person puts their name in, they get the shot that goes to the insurance company. Whatever the insurance doesn't cover, we pay. So if the insurance, if you go too far, maybe I should do that and go over into contingency and go over. But I've been trying to keep it just under, so we end up with about $1,000 left, so we don't.
I would just keep it the same and go into contingency if you have to. I wouldn't raise it.
You want to raise it? Seems to be a big call for it. Like I said, we're so popular, and there's, like I said, 80 already on the list.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do an expo this
Yeah,
year,
they really-
a senior expo here. And we're gonna have the shingle shots done here on that day. I know there's gonna be,
But you got a lot of money that's not even being used in the contingency.
actually, I don't think contingency is 40,000 up there yet, 30,000 now. So we did drop that 10. I don't know if you wanna drop it back to 30, but I don't have an issue.
That's just my opinion, so.
What do you guys feel?
Well, then you're gonna take it out of here? You're not gonna turn anybody down, right?
Well, we have to turn them down. We don't have any money,
Well, why would you turn them down
You
if
can
you
take
just
it
get
out
the
of
money from somewhere
contingency.
else, is all I'm saying. Just take it out of somewhere else.
Because they really, like, the shingle shots
Yeah,
a big
need it,
thing
yeah.
If you served
Looking at 80
everyone,
already.
if you served everyone who requested it, what do you think the total value would be? Like if you said, we got unlimited shingle shots, what kind of dollars are we talking about?
Well, we started out with 10,000 the first year, went through that pretty quick. Then we put it up to
20.
20,000 now.
It's been 2 years, so you must have taken it up to 30 last
Yeah,
year.
we brought it up to 30 last year.
Do you think you could do 60,000?
We can spend it. We can spend $100,000. I'm sure. If we, just said, but we have to cut it off.
Right, so at some point you
So
have to
it's a first
say,
come,
we're
first
cutting
served.
it off.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the decision, I'm
Yeah.
just suggesting maybe we set the limit and then that's what it is.
And
And
that's
if you
what
happen to
we
go
did.
over a little bit because certain medical
Contingency.
payments weren't paid, then use contingency for that.
I guess that's what I'm saying. What is that?
So if you go to
limit?
35, you'll be able to serve more people,
Sure.
and if it happens to go over
And take it out.
a touch,
Take it out of
you take it out of
contingency.
contingencies.
Or we can keep it at 30 and that
Well,
serves
that's the only
quite a few
reason I was
people.
asking, is if you used all the 30, then obviously, yeah, you need to increase it, but if you didn't use.
Well, it's because that's why we have 80 people on the list, because we told them no.
Oh, okay,
wait
so
till
you
next
did
year's
have
budget.
some that you said no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we have, like I said, 80 people waiting
Okay.
from
Well, then-
last year.
All right, then no, 35 is
How
fine.
many did you serve
I
last year?
couldn't tell you.
No.
Yeah, like, yeah, right, how many shots were given, that made up this 28,000.
Yeah, I could get that number for you from
Walgreens?
Walgreens, Michelle probably has it in the computer, but I don't know it right offhand. Like I said, every shot is a different price depending on
Right, if it's covered by their medical
their
insurance or
medical
not.
insurance or their Part D. So, all right, 35, everybody okay with that? Senior Expo, the Senior Advisory Board is we're gonna do a Senior Expo here this year. Like, the expos that they have at JUCO, they used to have it. We're gonna try to have one here. The one at what's that school, Richmond doesn't do it anymore, so we're gonna try to do it here. And try to do an expo every year, and if it works out, and this is just seed money to get it going. You know, we're gonna try to do a shredder truck, and we have to buy donuts and coffee and stuff like that, and we're gonna have we already have the Lions Club coming out with a hearing aid truck, and there's another couple of other things I wanna get out here on that expo. Triad's a new line item, $3,000. Triad was a organization that does a lot of senior activities. Park District used to run it, kind of fell off and hasn't been done anymore since Barb Morissette retired. And I know there's an interest to get it going again. They already had their first meeting, but what they do is they do a meeting in Lockport, they'll do a meeting in Crest Hill, they'll do a meeting in Roman, and they keep on going. And it's mostly the police departments, fire departments, townships, libraries involved with it. It's all the big government agencies, and they do like seminars for scams, and they have the seniors come, and this is seed money to get, pay for that kind of projects when it comes to our building. All other senior programs, $5,000. Okay, the bus program, I got $75,000 in the bus purchase and lease. $15,000 in bus maintenance. We went way over last year, but we have 2 new buses, so we should be okay with the 15. Fuel, I raised fuel because...
The 75,000, is that what the lease agreement comes out to for the 2 buses that we've got leased?
No, that's, what we had talked about originally, and I got the money in there if we want to buy a backup van this year. Because when the buses go into service, we still have to drive, we have a van. We still have a situation where the buses are out. It'll be at Silver Cross Hospital waiting for a patient to come off of dialysis, and that patient doesn't come off on time, and we're supposed to have somebody being picked up over here. So if we get into a situation, do we leave that person, go back, pick up this person, or, if we have a van, the ladies, Michelle or Jackie could go with the van and go pick it up. Right now, they're using their personal cars, and that's a liability on us. We
So
do
you
that.
wouldn't be hiring an additional
No,
employee for this?
no,
year?
no.
All right.
This should just be a backup thing for, like I said, right now, they're using their personal cars, and that's not, if they have an accident, I don't know what the liability is.
Well, if we were to do that, then why wouldn't we buy one to let the assessors use it instead of paying all the money for we're paying it for travel for the assessor? I mean, we've paid a lot of money for having them just in travel for employees here.
I don't have travel.
The assessor,
I don't have any travel in my
Where's your-
money.
there's no travel in the assessor.
Not on the line items, but I've seen it, we paid it before.
My field guys use their own truck, their own vehicles anyway.
Do you see the travel on here somewhere?
No, I saw it, when we were paying things before, I was wondering why we were paying so much for travel.
In past budgets, we did. It was part of the,
Schooling or
It was-
seminar or something.
Oh,
No, our travel was part of our salary at one time, but they did away with that last year.
last year, we did away with the
Year
travel.
before, yeah.
Okay, it must have been one of those.
I mean, right now, my field guys have to use their own vehicles to check property.
So would you be all right if we had a van, if they use the van instead of their own vehicles?
That would defeat the purpose of having a van for emergency for the, that van would be going all day with the field guys.
Because your guys are gone all the time. Okay.
Anyway, that's what the $75,000 is in there for. Like I said, bus maintenance,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. How many emergencies would you say you have on a yearly basis for the bus?
the bus that gets caught,
Yeah.
I'll bet they use their own car. I don't wanna say once a week, pretty close to about once a week. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 times a week, and then the next week it won't be used at all, you know, they won't run out at all. Yeah, it's all a scheduling thing, and it's hard to schedule when people's appointments last longer, and
How many people on the average, I mean, this is something, you know, you can get from Michelle later, but
Mhm.
just questions, I mean, couldn't you just get a car? Does it have to be a van?
well, it could be, you could buy a car, but there would be about approximately the same amount of money, and a van would be handicap accessible.
Oh, that's right, the handicapped accessible. Okay.
Okay, bus maintenance stays the same. Hopefully we won't be using that since we have new buses. Fuel I raised because we're not diesel anymore, we're gas. That's a lot more expensive. Moving on to land purchase and building. We got the full-time maintenance guy, the other half of his salary. The 2 part-time guys that we talked about, and the other part is out of here. Elevator maintenance, alarm maintenance, yard maintenance, custodial supplies, and capital improvement. And then under that,
What falls under capital improvement?
anything that we
Anything
want
like
to do, like, some of the projects I'm talking about is the backup generator, a lawn tractor, small little thing, we gotta improve our sign, but, if we did the solar panels, if we did a beautification thing in the back, you know, I wanna get TV message boards in this building, in the front, in the pantry and upstairs. You know, to basically inform people of what's going on, a message board kind of thing.
Okay.
The garbage containment, we have to get security cameras if we decide to get more, those kind of things. Anything that, you know, that's what capital improvement is. That brings me down to capital improvement. And then the next page is all the unemployment, FICA, Medicare, that'll all be decided after we decide on raises. All right, general assistance. First one is the employee, but that'll wait until we make a decision. The new line item of $5,000 under GA, that's that employee that I'm talking about, the last of hers. Hospitalization went up there to 30. Then everything's pretty much the same. 200, FICA, we believe we have enough in there for FICA. Medicare, we probably have enough. MRF, we have enough. Equipment maintenance, 3,500. Defense fund, other professional services, phone 500, publishing 500, printing 1,000, in training service 1,000, general insurance 5,000, office supplies 6,000, operating supplies 3,000, and office equipment 8,000. In relief, we got workman's comp welfare, 2,200. Physician service, 500. In hospital inpatient, 400. Outpatient, 400. Dental service, 1,000 or 100. Other medical, 5,000. Will Grundy Medical Clinic, 500. Will County Community Concerns, 1,000. Funeral and burial, 1,000. Shelter, 40,000. Fuel's 10,000, electric's 12,000, water's 5,500, garbage is 1,000, phone's 500, food's 14,000, drugs is 4,000, emergency services is 5,000, and miscellaneous is 8,000.
What is shelter for 40,000?
Rent, yeah,
Okay.
mortgage, yeah,
Alright,
that kind of
clarify
stuff.
that.
So nobody ever asks for, the drugs? Nobody ever?
No,
Given any of that?
no, we haven't. but if they do, we have to,
No,
that's who will take it out.
I'm saying it's just,
Yeah.
these
A lot of them we don't
zeros.
take, funeral and burial, we've never,
No, that's,
dental service, we don't, we gotta be prepared.
Seems like a lot of these line items have had a lot more expenditures in prior years.
In prior years.
The numbers are down. I don't know
They
if
are.
people are just not asking for assistance, or they're just not qualifying for assistance.
We're gonna change our qualifications a little bit this year, I think, and I think what I would like to do is do a reach-out program, where we'll spend,
wonderful.
our caseworker, we can go over to set up a thing, I'll talk to a library director, and we can use a desk there on a Wednesday morning, 1 day a month, so they can go across Hill, and then over to Romaville for 1 day a month, in the morning. So what I think what the issue is here, I mean, I think this is a wonderful building and it worked out great moving over here, but as far as general assistance goes, we're not on the bus line anymore. So they have a hard time getting here. We were right at Central Square, there's a bus right there, so.
So when you say change the qualifications, isn't it mandated by law, the qualifications?
I believe we can raise them, but we can't lower it past the mandate. I'm already going to change the emergency assistance, I'm gonna go to once a year instead of once every 2 years.
Around under food, I know we had 14,000 budgeted, we're doing the same. We, only spent 5. I mean, is that, it still seems kind of, is that for like the $25 and $50 food vouchers that we give out for?
Yeah,
I know it doesn't seem like we give out a whole lot of food vouchers. I mean, maybe around holidays a little bit more, but, I'm just saying, that might be something we could lower at some point.
but I guess my thought is on that though, really, we only levy $7,500 a year. That's all we levy for this. So it's not like a big taxing thing, so, and the money is there for it because the replacement tax goes into this. Back when they stopped the personal property tax, which I don't know when that was,
Late 70s.
late 70s, they replaced it with the replacement tax. And at that point in the 70s, the board decided that all that money would go into general assistance. So we were able to drop the levy down to $7,500. All right, that pretty much takes care of all the trustees' budgetary items. Next on the agenda would be the assessor. Debbie, I'm sorry I made you wait so long.
I only have 3 line items I need to change. I'd like to raise my part-time from 25,000 to 30,000 this year. Next year is considered quadrennial reassessment, which means that we have to reassess every parcel in Lockport Township. We have 72 subdivisions. We've been breaking it up through the past 3 years. This year I have 15 subs I still need to reassess. I have 4,100 parcels in that and 66 farms left to do. So we'd like to be able to get all of that done before 5-year next year. So I was like, I'd like to raise that amount so that I can get more people out in the field.
What line item is that on?
I'm sorry, it's 4210.
2210, part-time, 30,000. The first one that has a mention.
Oh, okay.
The other ones are, again, employees, we'll talk about that in executive session.
And the other one that I would like to change, I would like to add another full-time person. The state of Illinois passed a new law, I guess a law statute, raising the senior freezes from a qualifying amount of 55,000 to 65,000 this year. Last year we processed 1,700 maybe senior freezes. There, the county told us to expect to increase that to over 3,000 more people coming. And with the baby boomers all reaching the 65 year, in the next 2 years, I expect it to be a lot more than that. So I'd like to bring another person in to work with the senior freezes. And the only other line item I have to change is my miscellaneous from 1,000 to 1,500.
So the person that you wanna, the additional person you wanna bring in for, the senior freezes, is that, you want it to be full-time, it can't be part-time?
It would be full-time, because not only will we do those exemptions, but we do disabilities, you know, veterans and all of that too.
Any other questions for the assessor's budget? I guess we'll move on. Debbie, before you leave though, I know you said you wanted to get out of here. I wanted to find out if you can go to the state of address for Plum River.
No.
All right, moving on to the clerks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
So I have 4 line items that have changed on my budget. The one will be the part-time employees, and actually it's, I had to raise it to 10,000 because we have 2 elections this year. One that's going on right now, early voting, and then in November, and October, which we require extra staff. So, instead of 9,000, maybe we could change it to 10 after doing some calculations. The other line item is equipment maintenance, and we added $8,000 for a server that we're gonna be paying monthly for. We're the only ones that do not have a server, the supervisor's office and the assessor's office. So now, especially with digitalizing all the records management, that's very necessary for our office to have a server. And then I took training down 1,000 and equipment purchase down 1,000. And those were the only changes.
Everybody good?
With the, I want to talk about doing the website. Does that come out of the clerk's budget, or does that come out of the town fund?
It's coming out of the town.
Town
fund,
projects.
Projects, okay.
Yeah, take that out of projects. All right. Any other questions for the clerks' budget? All right, we'll move on to the supervisors. Bookkeeper, that's empty again, like I said, we'll just talk about that. Part-time, bookkeeper I kept the same. The new person, I'm calling her the part-time media person, 75. Extra hours, 2,000. I never had extra hours when we were at Central Square, but now that we're at this building, with the drivers and the maintenance men, sometimes they have to work extra hours, snow removal. They need a line item to bring that out. Everything else pretty much stays the same on the money.
Well, I have a question, going off of like what, you know, the clerk just did in her office, as far as, you know, well, she cut out of training $1,000. For your office, you're adding a new line item for $2,000 for extra hours worked overtime, but then you're also asking us to approve hiring another person. So
Right.
really, I don't know if we should be, I mean, you shouldn't have overtime if you're hiring another person, I guess is what the way
Well, I
I'm
don't
looking
think
at it.
the person that I'm hiring
Okay.
isn't gonna be doing the snow removal.
No, in the office, nor for the woman in your
yeah,
office?
right. But the extra hours, and that's for me to pay the snow removal, the
Okay.
maintenance guys, if I
All
have
right.
to,
Yeah, that's a little,
Or-
that was.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
little confusing. All
yeah.
right.
And like Sherry has worked on Wednesdays.
And there's no reason she can't be plowing snow, I do.
Well, so
She would
for-
need she'd need a crane to get up in that
So,
truck.
for our employees,
She'd be
that
breaking
just work-
bones and
For
getting
me.
stitches.
they get the extra hours, but the ones that work at more
Yeah.
than 40 hours a week
Right.
will get the overtime.
Right.
That's how that works.
Okay.
So that's mine. Any other questions of the town fund budget? Well, we did that out of line. I went right to our clerk and supervisor.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
he was
Jan.
like,
I pushed it towards the
They
back.
sure did.
Yeah, that's all right. You got all the time in the world. Come on.
Yeah.
We'll go. On to the road and bridge. Jan, I'm gonna let you kind of.
Yeah, I'm actually, I got this information yesterday. Everything basically is gonna be staying the same. I will make some changes. I'm still waiting on some quotes to come in and some information to come in. One thing I'd like to do this next year is purchase 2 new trucks. The last 2 years combined, we spent about $111,000 on repairs. And just doing some basic research, it seemed like that the 2 trucks that we want to replace contributed for about 60%, 70% of those repairs. So that'll come out of the equipment line item, and if we do a 5-year lease, I shouldn't have to move any money in or out. The other thing that I'd like to do is hire a full-time employee. The department before I took over, always had 6 guys, and we've been at 5 guys for 5 years. And with the last year here with this bad winter, we're running into a problem. We did a preliminary run through the township. I got to have an extra guy, so I will probably be taking some money out of, and that's why things haven't been done yet. I'm waiting to get some preliminary estimates on what our salt would cost next year. It's already been ordered, so we ordered less because we had such a surplus, and then now we used it all. It's getting a little tricky with the salt, but basically everything's gonna stay the same. And that was like the 2 big projects. Any paving comes out of the material, oil and asphalt, the MOA line item. And last year we had $360,500 in that line item. Because of some paving projects we did this year, there's just not enough money to have that same amount. So it looks like as of right now, we're gonna have, that's not right, let me look at my.
It's 4 lines up from the bottom on the
Yeah.
first page.
What do we got?
360,500 was budgeted and 356,189 was spent.
So this year, we're actually, it's in my budget here.
You wanna go up 400?
Right now you have it at 249,000.
Yeah, so it has actually come down. We'd like to put it back up there, but there's no money to do that with. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
I'm sure it does.
I mean, I did just, the road projects from last year, we spent money on. There wasn't the extra money. At the end of the year, you have, and actually, if you look at my budget, that very first line item where it says March 1st, 2018 estimated, that 382,712 number,
We're on the
that's
first page.
on the actual budget itself. I'm sorry.
He's got his budget attached.
Okay.
So it's like the 3rd page in your packet.
Yeah.
Basically, that is what was left over after this year.
The
That's-
382,000.
Yes, well,
Okay.
the year before was around 500 and something. So we took all that overage last year and put it in the MOA line item. What we're doing basically this, you could say we're doing the same thing, but there's 200,000 less because of the road project, so. But everything's really staying the same. If you guys have any questions.
How are you doing with the county money?
Actually, we talked about that today. since I took office, there were loans out, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to say the wrong number, but they were totaling around 700 something, 7+, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was,
If you added all the funds or the,
yeah, it was an overdraft situation.
Right.
The more money was spent on bridges and roads than the township had being held. And now they're back above sea level. So there's a positive balance at the county now, but it's not large. It was about 30,000 thereabouts to end 2017. Now at the, we don't have the figures from February of 2018 yet, but the annual collections are roughly 45 to 50,000. So if nothing changed, there should be close to 80,000 or thereabouts to begin the new year. So getting to, not quite to the point where you can do some meaningful projects yet, but it's starting.
I apologize.
yeah, it's
I
about,
thought something was coming out of
It's-
your
yeah.
mouth. That's different.
it's about $125,000 to pave a mile of road. So the 80,000 is nice. We had, when I took over, I think we had about 600,000 in that line
It was-
item. But it had to be, we were paying back these loans. So I haven't actually had an opportunity in the last 5 years I've been here to have used any MFT funds. So otherwise, that would be
But
one
you are
that,
starting to get to that point.
we're starting to get to the point where next year we'll probably, be able to use a little bit. But I placed a call in, there was some discrepancies, I think, or put it this way, I had some questions on some things based on information I received from the county on the NFT funds. I placed a call to Jeff today, and I have not gotten a call back. But if that changes, I will definitely let you know.
We're gonna go ahead and, after the meeting, after we get executive session, we make our decisions, we'll go ahead and put this together and post it, and, but you're not gonna post yours yet, right?
No, mine will be approved in the May meeting.
Okay, ours probably will too, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay, because there's just so much
Yeah.
speculation. I talked to PT Farrell, they're talking about add another $5 a ton for asphalt with the prices going up. The 2 trucks I want to buy, I got one quote for about $170,000 for the one truck. So I still have some things coming in. Salt is a big one. We have to order salt in March for the next year.
Yeah.
So it's, or April actually, we'll be ordering salt for next year already. So I'll get a better idea. We won't know the price until closer. So it's, again, this is kind of a guessing game on the salt, but I'm kind of limited just because I didn't increase any. There's just not a lot of money there. But the infrastructure is getting, really rough. Excuse me. And I was considering, taking out like bigger loans to pay off after 10 years, kind of to get some of these streets done because they're falling apart. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm still throwing that around with some other highway commissioners and our accountant, so.
How's the bridges?
Pardon?
How's the bridges?
Well, the Smith Road Bridge, I've got, I'm not sure, right off the top of my head, I want to say $675,000 from the state to replace Smith Road Bridge. I would have to come, it's roughly a $2 million bridge to replace. Obviously, they're telling me, the engineering company's telling me, once we build the bridge, the state will give you more money if it's just costs more to build, but I still have to come up with 20%. So 20% of 2 million is what, 400,000? So that's why there's $100,000 in the bridge line item. I have to have that in there to be able to keep the money that's been supposedly earmarked for us.
So no Smith Road Bridge this budget?
They won't even give me the funds till 2020. So the earliest that construction would start was 2020 and the latest would be 2025.
You had indicated that you were trying to come up with Homer Township. Is that still a?
Nope, I spoke with Homer Township, and for you guys that don't know, Smith Road, the dividing line between Lockport Township and Homer Township is right down the center of Smith. So when I had to come up with this money, and Homer's got 5 times the budget I do, I went to him jokingly and says, I'm only doing my half of the bridge, even though I have an IGA to take care of both sides of the street. And he says, you know what, we could sit down and talk about it. Well, the more we talked about it, he is gonna come up with some of that. He's looking at maybe giving me $100,000 for that, so that would be a huge help. I'm hoping he would pay half of the 20, so we could pay 10 and 10. But because there's an IGA in place and I'm responsible,
You just put another IGA in place.
yeah, but he would have to agree to that. So that's kind of my concern, and actually that's where probably the MFT funds are gonna go, is to make up that other 20%, or to make up what I'm short of on that 20%. Because that bridge has to get done, or they're gonna end up closing it.
What's the study say? I mean, what?
It's on a yearly inspection right now, and if I showed it to you, it'd probably scare you. I mean, the underneath is really bad, but they tell me that I cannot issue any overweight permits for that bridge, but the bridge is still sound, still stable enough, because I'm concerned more about bus traffic. There's 10 school buses use that thing a day, maybe more.
That drop is, it's only about 5 feet, isn't it? It's not that far, the drop and collapses.
What we are gonna do, I don't know if anybody has been over that bridge, I think you've been over that bridge, it's just pothole after pothole.
Yeah.
What I asked PT Farrell when they were doing 135th Street, if they'd give me a price since all their equipment's out there, just to give me skin over the top to last me the 4 years, because it's you can see kind of through it in some spots, and they wouldn't get their heavy equipment on there, like to grind it and redo it. So we're gonna actually do that by hand this year, so you might see some work.
Any grants out there?
Pardon?
Are any grants out there?
Well, we got the one to build the bridge, but this is just to get us to that construction point. It's just, it's not falling in, it's just so potholed, and it seems like when you plow it, then all of a sudden you're putting more of the cold patch in there, you plow, you put more in there. And I just decided maybe we can just put a skin over the top, like a 2-inch layer, we can do that ourselves and hand shovel and rake it. So we'll just do 1 lane one day and, 1 lane the next day, when it's like 108 degrees. So I told the guy, so we'll wait till it's good and warm to do that one. But no, I think we're okay.
All right. Any other questions for the highway, for their budget? Basically, when you get your budget all the way completed and done, I guess I don't want to have to go through another workshop like this,
Right.
unless we really need to.
Could I, I don't know what the legalities are, but I can email or have you guys email it out and you guys can take a look and then say, you know what, we need a workshop, or no, we don't.
You guys feel comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's no money really to,
Nothing's changing.
I'm just gonna have to find a little money to put into the personnel line item from some other line item. And that's really about all I can do at this point.
So you went over on overtime because of all the snow?
Yes, I don't anticipate that every year, but it happens, because the last 2 years they hardly got any overtime.
All right, I have nothing else except for we're going to go into an executive session now to talk about the employees. So I need a motion to go out of regular session. A motion by Barb Boyce, second by Bob Delaney. We'll recess for 3 or 4 minutes, and thank you everybody for coming out.